Hello everybody, this is Dr. Novak again, and here I'm at my workbench. And someone requested that I do a video on CO2 diffusers. Now throughout the years I've used a lot of different CO2 diffusers, and I used everything from where you get a pump, which could be used for undergravel filters, and I connected up a hose to it, an airline tubing, and send CO2 into the impeller, and then it would blow out in the aquarium. Those seem to work okay. The best one are what they call the needle valve pumps that have the needles for the impeller. Those are the best. They're expensive, and they're probably not for everyone, because the downside to basically having such a pump in your aquarium is the pump itself. Plus you need an extra outlet for the pump, 110 or whatever you're using, and you have to connect that up, and then it will blow your CO2 into the aquarium. A lot of people don't like them because they're bulky, and they do take another outlet, an outlet that maybe you do not have one to spare. The next one would be your standard in the tank CO2 diffusers. They could be stainless steel, or they could be glass. It doesn't matter. And they have a diffuser, much like you're seeing here, a diffuser element that goes into them, of ceramic of some sort, and it has micro bubbles. The glass ones I don't use myself because they're too fragile, if you know what I mean. I break them, so I don't use them. Plus the fact I like the stainless steel ones because you can unscrew the stainless steel ones and actually have a very nice CO2, your ceramic stone, that could be taken out, has a rubber gasket around it. It could be, remove the gasket, you put the stone in 100% bleach for 24 hours, then you clean it, then you put it, if you have very hard water, then you put the stone into vinegar and let it sit for 24 hours. If you have very hard water, to get any calcium off the stone. Then after that, you're done. Just wipe the stone off, let it dry off, and it's good for years. So that's a very good option. Some of the glass ones, you can't remove this ceramic. So I hate to say this, but for me, they're a pain in the ass. I don't like them. Plus, I'm clumsy. You can drop them. They can break. So I prefer the stainless steel ones. They also have some very expensive ones that cost hundreds of dollars, and they work very, very good. They do. They do an excellent job if you want to spend hundreds of dollars to inject CO2 into your aquarium. Especially when you have a very large aquarium, I'm talking 125, 55, 75, 150, 280, 300 gallons, that size. You also have a third option. Third option is called an inline, like you see here, inline CO2, to pump CO2 into your aquarium. Now, I've used these before, and they're plastic, and I remember when they first came out and stuff, and even the ones out now. The problem is trying to get a brush down into your thing. They can hinder the amount of water coming out of your canister filter. I'll explain that. Let's say your canister filter is rated at 375 gallons. You know it's not going to be 375 gallons. I know it's not going to be 375 gallons. So now it's maybe 250 gallons. Then you put one of these inline CO2 mixers in, like you see here. And what do? They hinder the water flow even more so you get a slower output of your canister filter. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. If I want my canister filter to flow smoothly, I don't want anything to obstruct that flow. I'm sure you agree. Then I saw this. And this is, let me see. It's not labeled on there. I think I can find one. It's called a Clscea. And it's made in China. But one thing, when I saw this, now being an engineer, I knew that when they made these inline CO2, I did not like them because of the fact they obstruct your water. they're not easy to clean. But look at this. Let me see through this end. But you can actually send a brush in there to clean out your lines. Look at that. You can literally send a brush right through there to clean out your lines without having to take the whole thing off of the tubing. Another thing they give you with this, which I thought was pretty good, they give you a little Phillips head screwdriver, a very small one, so you can take the screws out. I kind of use my own screwdriver, and what this is when you buy this on Amazon. I will give you a link and everything in case you're interested in it. You get the clamps that you see here, the 2 clamps, stainless steel clamp. This is 5/8. I think they sell it in 5/8 and 1/2 inch, which most people are either going to be 5/8 or 1/2 inch hoses. This is 5/8, which is, if I believe this is an Eheim hose, if I'm not mistaken, it's 18 to 22 millimeters for the 5/8. But that's what this is. It's made out of aluminum, aircraft aluminum. I would have preferred to see it made out of stainless steel, at least 304 stainless steel, but for the price, I guess it's not too bad. Now, I, on the other hand, use this electric screwdriver and unscrew it. They give you these stainless steel screws to screw it together. Now, the other ones do not have that, so you have to pull the whole thing off, separate it from the hoses. What? Yeah, here, 17 millimeter. Right here. It says it right on the tubing. Like I said, 16 to 22 millimeter. Anyhow, this turns around and you just unscrew these 4 stainless steel screws, which, like I said, they give you a screwdriver, but I prefer to use my own. And you unscrew it. Now, you don't have to remove it from the hose. You just remove this part. That's it. Now all you have to do is clean out this part. I use a Q-tip to get inside there. A Q-tip to get inside there to clean the sight glass. This is the sight glass. So I use a Q-tip. I clean all this out in here. And with this, all you do is remove this. It just screws on. Look. You just screw it off. Has a little spring in there. Why is this spring there? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. That's just the way they made it. So the next thing you do, this is where you connect your CO2 line to, and then it has a nut that tightens up so your CO2 line doesn't pop off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this, and it's easy to clean. I don't know if you could see in there. You probably can't, but yeah, that's a big opening, 5/8 opening. So the water basically flows through here and straight through. No hindrance. If you get a CO2 diffuser and you put it in your aquarium, at least with me, this is what I've noticed, that it will start building algae on the top of the diffuser stone, start building algae, build algae on the whole thing. With this, because it's hidden underneath the cabinet, or not, it's not exposed to light, it doesn't have an algae problem. It doesn't build up any algae. Therefore, the stone stays nice and clean without an algae buildup. Now, you just take this whole stone and put this in bleach, which is what I'll do, because I forgot about this. The company, in order to screw this on, they give you a little rubber band with every stone you buy so you can wrap it around and unscrew it and screw it on. Here's the package it comes in, and there's your little rubber band there, and there's the stone, and here's the number in case you want to order more stone, in case you order one of these. I ordered 3 of them. They're going to last for years, so 3 is probably more than enough that whatever you're going to be doing. Okay, so I cleaned everything. I get a Q-tip. I clean the sight glass. Now the sight glass is really not glass. You can tell it's just plastic. So don't use anything abrasive on it, your sight glass here, because it's just plastic. You're gonna wreck it if you use anything more than a Q-tip. And I get in there because that's where the rubber washer and everything's going to seat in here. So I cleaned it up. I timed myself on cleaning this. It took about a whole minute. So everything's been cleaned. Now you got this little rubber piece here, and this rubber piece fits right here like that. Pretty simple. And of course, and we'll take our new stone. Well, this is one I just cleaned. And this goes together. Let me show you. See, there's a little plastic piece, rubber piece. It goes in here. And that's what the spring goes small end down. It's not a very tight spring. It's a very loose spring, so it's nothing to worry about. And there's a little, looks like silicone gasket in here. Clear silicone gasket. So that comes with each stone. You put it on top. You screw it back together again. Now, they give you this little rubber band, and what this is for, you put it around the stone so you can get a better grip of putting it on and off, and you make sure it's nice and tight. So basically, that's it. It took me a whole 60 seconds to clean the inside of this. Now, what I do, this is not a must, okay? This is just something I do. I get a grease like this. This is the all-purpose silicone grease. It's made for food. So in other words, it's human safe. And they use this grease for, oh man, sealing. It's very slippery. But you'll see it on your refrigerators. You'll see it on your ice maker. You'll see it in food products. It's very easy to use. It's silicone. It costs, I think you get 3 tubes, $9 on Amazon. And I just take a little bit of this silicone grease, just a little bit, and I will add it to the inside of this. Just the top. Now, this is not a must. It's just something that I do. Okay, just the very top is where I put the silicone grease, just on the top here. And it's food grade, so therefore it's not going to hurt your fish in any way, shape, size, or form. I want this. Now this can either go this way or it can go down. I'm going to put it down because that's the way I have. And another thing, when you go to put this together, make sure that this end's shorter than this end so you can get a brush in there and clean it out if you want, if you need to. Because don't forget, this is never coming off. So you want to make sure you can get a brush through here so you can clean it out, right? So make this one shorter and it goes fine. And of course I got a quick disconnect here. So all I do is put it back on. The silicone helps it slide easier because don't forget there's a rubber gasket in there. Next step is you put it down, add your screws. I think I even put a little bit of silicone, yes I did, on these screws. A little bit of this silicone. All right. I'll leave a link to this in case you want it. This silicone is great. O-ring, gasket, valves, bearings, scuba gear. So it's safe for your fish. Okay. That you don't have to worry. And I like to use it on something like this. And then, of course, okay, that's it. Now, I'm using these, I thought I'd bring this, I'm using these stainless steel intake and outtake tubes. This is the outtake. This is flexible. This is F-zone. You know what? I've seen people use these, and I always thought for stainless steel tubes, I always thought these are a gimmick. You probably think the same thing. Yeah. It's a gimmick. It's another thing. We could use plastic. We could use, yeah. You know what? I really do like them. They're heavy. They give you clips, and I'll show you that they clip onto the aquarium to keep them in place where you want them. You can put them internally or mine are external. These are well worth the price of admission. This is an F zone, and this is adjustable. You can turn this 360 degrees, whatever you want. I like it because since I'm using the CO2, I like this because it goes inside the aquarium at least 4 inches deep. Now, what the purpose of this is, the bubbles, the micro bubbles come off your ceramic stone, and as they come off the ceramic stone, they go upwards because the pump's pushing them up and out into your tank. So it really is nice to really inject your tank with CO2 and blow it way down to the end of your aquarium. And since a lot of people use canister filters, this is great. You can look at the sight glass and you can get a little flashlight and shine it in there, and you can see it's bubbling, okay, the micro bubbles. So all this is doing is taking the aquarium water that's already been cleaned, okay, it's clean water, which is another thing that if you put a pump in your aquarium, the problem I had is snails get sucked up within the hose, leaves get sucked up with the hose, dirt and detritus get sucked up, and sometimes you'll have to stop the pump and clean it. With this, since it's a canister, everything's been cleaned, so you're just sending clean water back in the aquarium, and that clean water now takes the micro bubbles and blows it into your aquarium. You know what? It's great. So I'll show you what it looks like all set up, but basically that's it. Connect your CO2 line up to here. Of course, you'll have to have a dripper or something so you know how many bubbles you're putting into here, and boom, it sends all those micro bubbles through your aquarium. If you're looking for something that doesn't obstruct your view of your fish tank, think about that too. It's not obstructing the view of your fish tank. You don't have this big clunky diffuser inside your aquarium, right, that you're looking at. You don't have to. You got it right here. If you're looking for something that cosmetically looks good, it works great. Like I said, this is 2 months old, no algae on it, no more algae problems. They're easy to clean. Like I said, it took me a minute. Hey, it's a no-brainer. To me, it's almost a no-brainer. Will I ever go back to another inexpensive CO2 diffuser? No. I will definitely use an inline one like I have here. So here it is, all connected up. There's the nut I was telling you about that you screw to fasten the CO2 line to. And as you notice how the sight glass is facing forward, so you can see the sight glass. You can actually put a flashlight in there if you can't see in there. And you can see the micro bubbles go all the way up and squirt all the way down to the end of the tank. So after using this, no, I won't use an in the tank diffuser ever again. This definitely is great, easy to clean. Within a minute, you can have it clean, and I would highly recommend it if you're thinking about buying a diffuser and you're using a canister filter. Until next time, this is Dr. Novak. Thank you for watching, and happy fish keeping.